Well, a very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another episode here on the Life Signatures Radio. This is a daily show. We focused on talking about purpose, productivity, and resilience. Every working day, you're going to find an episode dealing with one of those two or three things that are important in our lives. We are in the middle of a long series. This series we started over 40 episodes back. And I think it's important for me to say this. This series is about what I think is important to us in this day and in this age. And it's living a project-oriented life. If we are not going to embrace actually living a project-oriented life from different angles of our lives, chances are that we will continue seeing people unfulfilled in their lives. We'll continue seeing people not realizing the potential that God put inside of them. So we just got off of a very long series, a mini series in the series where we were talking about, what were we talking about? We were talking about how a parent can teach their children to be project oriented. And right now, what we are addressing, my friends, we're addressing the topic, how to find your life project. We started talking about that 2 episodes back, and we're going to continue talking about that in the episode today. If this makes sense to you in any way, please make sure you share it with as many people as possible. And if you want to give back, there is a link I've included in the show notes. You can click on that link and you can be able to give back. And that will be a good thing. But today, let us now start getting deeper into this. So stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Well, let's get started. Let's just have fun here. Let's get started with what we were talking about in the episode. We've been discussing the idea of living a project-oriented life. And if you wanted to live a project-oriented life, you've got to be intentional about it. But then what we are discussing at this moment in time is how exactly can I find what my life project is? What is my life project? And how can I know what it is in the first place to begin with? Yesterday we said there is absolutely no way you're going to do this if you do not determine. If you do not get hungry and determine that this is what I want to happen in my life, I want to know what it is. If there is no hunger, there is no inquisition, there is no inquest to find your life project, let me tell you, it's not going to come automatic. There's nothing that comes automatic in life. It's not going to be automatic. You can take that to the bank. It's not going to be automatic. Someone has got to start seeking. Someone has got to start looking. If you don't seek, if you don't look, forget it. It's not going to happen. That was number one. Now, let us talk about this today in the episode. How do I find my life project? Number two, you've got to understand what exactly that is. What is the concept of a life project? What is it? This is important for us because, let me tell you, for the most part, we live our lives on autopilot. That's the most disheartening thing about the pearl of creation, the apple of God's eye, living our lives on autopilot. We wake up in the morning and we do what grandfather did, we do what grandmama did. Okay? There's just the only improvement is technology. But there is no concept, there is no understanding of what is this life all about. What is my life project? There is no understanding about that. And so we just live on autopilot. The autopilot, you know what the autopilot is all about. It is about waking up in the morning, you are 4 years of age, and you go to kindergarten, and then you go to primary school, and then you go to high school, and then you go to university, and then you graduate, and then you start looking for a job, and then you get a small house, a servant's quarter, you start paying that money, you start looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and you get married, and you start getting kids, and your biggest dream is to build your own house and to be financially, quote unquote, financially independent. And that's what we live for every single day. There is no understanding of what a life project is all about. So if that understanding is not there, then nobody is going to understand. Nobody is going to start even looking for your life project. A life project, let me just give you in my mind what I think a life project is all about. It has got to do with why I was created in the first place. It's got to do with what did God think about me when He made me? If I believe I came from God, I've got to come to my mind to believe that there's an assignment, just like this mouse. This mouse was for something. It wasn't for everything. It was for something. What did the maker, the manufacturer of the gadget think about before they created the gadget? The same thing with God. What did God think about me before He created me? The most unique thing about me, it is not my nose. I'm sure you can get very many people with a nose like this one. The most unique thing about me, it is my life of purpose. It is my assignment. It is my life's project. That's why I exist. That's why God has sustained me all these years to be in this place, to do my life's work, my life's project. I've got to understand it from that angle. Otherwise, I'm going to live my life on autopilot. A life project is not merely a career choice. It's not profession. It's not like a job title. It's not something that I get after I've graduated, after I put on a gown and I've had a graduation bash. It is a commitment. It is a calling. It is a devotion. It's a meaningful devotion. It's a meaningful dedication that reflects my unique identity, my meaning, my calling, my reason for existence. And it is about an impact in this world. Say, just living for the sake of getting that car, getting that house, getting that hot, whatever it is, spouse, so that you can get nice kids and so on. That's the most basic thing in life. It's the most basic thing in life. There are other things in life, and those things are about contribution. They're about value addition. They're about impact. So I hate it when I live today, tomorrow, 1 year, 2 years, 1 decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, 5 decades down the line, there is no life's work, no impact, no knowledge, no understanding of my life's work. So we've got to understand what that life's work. It is about an impact. It is about a contribution. It is about making a difference on the face of the earth. It could be tackling a global challenge in the community. It could be something as simple. What is it that I feel in here? It's being pulled out of me in my spirit, in my heart. It could be building a community initiative. It could be some people come up with scientific discoveries. They become their life's work. A project, a life's work is something that has an impact, something that changes, something that transforms, something that solves problems on the face of the earth. Muhammad Yunus, you know Muhammad Yunus, this guy who created is it called the Grameen Bank in the Orient. He identified his life's project in empowering impoverished communities, impoverished people, by improving. You see, we think that you need a voila, big time kind of a thing to be able to improve people's lives. But he improved people who are impoverished, providing the concept of microcredit. And his vision started small. But he grew and he redefined his objectives and his perceptions. And that's the thing with our life's work. It doesn't have to be grandiose like Moses in a burning bush experience. It has just got to be something that we feel it inside of our spirits. It matters to me. My life's work, my life's project matters to me. It is not something that doesn't matter to me. It matters to me. Okay, it matters to me. It is not necessarily something that has got to put food on my table and cloth on my back. It is not about food on the table and cloth on my back. And let me tell you something about food on the table and cloth on the back. When you read Genesis 1:26 to 20 to 30 something, the first thing that comes to mind when God is giving this man instructions, God is opening his mouth for the first time to communicate to the human being. You know what God is telling this guy? He's telling this guy to be fruitful, to multiply, to take charge, to take dominion, to be a man of value, to be a creator, to be a co-creator with God, to manage stuff, to invent stuff, to subdue stuff, to have dominion on the face of the earth, to make things happen. He was giving this guy his life's project. And guess what? The latter parts of that scripture is what God is saying. But you see all these trees, I have given them for food. Food was an afterthought. I mean, it came after the life's work. We have reversed these things where we are doing. I mean, the thing we wake up in the morning to do is look for food, look for food, look for food, look for food. It is the other way around. And maybe we cannot blame ourselves for looking for food and all that stuff. The pressure for looking for food is real. I cannot excuse it. I cannot be motivational about this. It is real. But I'm saying if there's going to be my life's work to be identified at some point in time, I've got to be intentional about it. I've got to know what is my life's work. And now I start having my consciousness changed. And even as I am looking for food to put on the table, even as I'm paying the bills, my assignment is in my mind. I'm thinking about my assignment in my mind, and I'm considering creating avenues and finding ways to be able to cultivate it, to be able to do it. That is how it works. And then at the end of the day, you might find that the assignment, my life's project, is now able to take care of the food on the table, the clothes on my back, and even create abundance so that it's not just about me. I don't just exist for me. I can be able to exist for other people. I can be able to create value for other people. Guys, this is what a project-oriented life is all about. I need to find my life's project. There is a reason as to why I don't like hospitals. Just come from a hospital ward right now. Seeing my sister-in-law. Of course, I prayed for her and all that stuff, but I walked out. I can't stand being in hospital wards. Therefore, my call is not in hospitals. I cannot stand being in the jungle. There's a time people went to the animal orphanage and I was bored to hell. But I love empowering. I love getting in God's presence and empowering people. That's a semblance, or that something that matters to me. My life's work could be around those confines. So think about it, my friends. If you wanted to find your life's work or your life's project, it's got to be something that it matters to you. You're created to do it. You sense it, you feel it, could do it even for free. When things are not going right, it makes you angry. When things are going well, it gives you the fullest of joys that you can be able to have. That is a semblance of your life's project. It is not about putting food on the table and clothes on my back. That's something totally different. Although it's legit, my problem is that we end up living 7 decades, 8 decades, 9 decades, just putting food on the table, clothes on our back, and eating 3 square meals and paying bills. That can't be the most biggest revelation of our lives. It cannot be. We've got to change, and we've got to start looking for our life's project. Tomorrow we're going to continue talking about these things, but until then, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.